Hello everyone, welcome back to Trophy Food Experiences. Today I'm doing a review of a dinner I had at Bicena Restaurant in Seoul, Korea. It's located on the 81st floor of the Signiel Seoul Hotel in the Lotte World Tower, which is I think one of the largest buildings, if not the tallest buildings in Seoul, Korea. It is a one-star Michelin restaurant and is serving Korean food in a multi-course traditional way, but with a little spin on it. So I was really excited to go there because it's one-star Michelin. The Lotte World Hotel, the Signiel Hotel, is really a magnificent building, as you can see from this initial picture. So this is the menu. It is their theme is Long Liberty, and I asked them what that meant, and really couldn't give me a great explanation. Maybe it's because their English wasn't good. You only have one menu. They do ask you if they have any allergies and things like that. It is fairly pricey. I think it's 220,000 won, so it's almost like $250 a person without any drinks. So, but it is quite a neat menu in terms of there's quite a bit of food. I'm a big wine enthusiast. I also have another channel called Trophy Wine Hunter. And if you don't like wine, I'm going to rant a little bit about this, so you can kind of skip this section if you don't are not interested in wine. But this is their wine pairing menu, and I've never seen this anywhere in the world, let alone a one-star Michelin. So if you look at it, they just give 5 glasses, for instance, for 210,000 won, but they just describe the wine as delicate and fresh Chardonnay from Bourgogne. That is so general description. It's fairly insulting, in my opinion, and I thought it was appalling. I told the sommelier that. Of course, they could tell me what it is, but to assume that your patrons won't know the difference or can't even distinguish what a vintage is or what the actual wine is I think quite insulting in terms of the knowledge. So I thought that was not a good thing. I've never seen that anywhere else in the world, let alone a one-star Michelin restaurant. Most places, what they will do is they will actually just say wine pairing 210,000 won, and then they will go through each wine. I think they do it this way. Maybe the sommelier isn't as knowledgeable about wine, but definitely they could not describe the wines in English. So maybe this is just easier for them to do. But again, I've never seen that before. I can't pay per glass like $68 or $70 for such a general description. So I had a problem with this. I decided then to just go with a soju pairing. So there's a very small restaurant, about 15 or 20 tables. Most of the tables have a window view. We didn't get a table with a window view, so I can only assume that the people that got window views were, booked earlier than us, or more important, whatever. We asked to change seats, and they said no, everything was booked up. So not a lot of flexibility, which is not one of the characteristics of a Michelin star restaurant. And the table that we asked for, the people didn't come until 8 o'clock. So we had a 6 o'clock reservation, and so I guess they only had one seating of each one. Let's get to the menu. The first thing was a fig gamju. So gamju is a kind of a Korean drink that's produced by fermenting steamed rice with starter culture called nurok. So it's kind of like a drink, and then they had a little fig on it. It was nice, a nice starter. It's kind of a palate cleanser, a bit acidic. And as you go through this, every dish you'll see is plated magnificently. So this is really an Instagram type restaurant. The presentation, A plus for sure. Service, not so good. Food, okay. So the next thing, they have three amuse-bouches. The first one is fig gamju. This one is the snow crab roll, which I liked actually. It's actually a pretty decent dish. Of the starter dishes, I thought this was the best of the amuse-bouches. But and again, they've got this little card there. But if you look at the card, actually, it's just regular paper. It's not special paper. It's okay. But again, the presentation is beautiful. This was the raw fish dish, and I think it had some jelly on top. They don't go through each of the dishes description, but again, there is an accent, so it's a little bit difficult to understand. I could have asked them to slow down, but again, the presentation is great. Unfortunately, again, this is a fish. I thought there was a lot of veins in this fish and very tough. And so I don't think they cut it correctly, like a Japanese sushi chef would cut it. So they cut across instead of along the line of the fish. And I didn't finish this. So again, this is a service standard. When you see a patron not finishing a dish or kind of spitting out a part of a dish, you usually ask, hey, is there a problem? They never asked. Likewise, anywhere through the meal, they never asked, how's your meal going? Never wanted to know. And I think they probably had an idea what some things were not I was thrilled about because there were some dishes I didn't finish, but they didn't want to know. It seems like the chef had a lot of creative ideas, and he just wanted to throw all his creative ideas, but it's kind of a mismatch. There's not really a theme around it, and I would actually prefer just having really good, like 5 or 6 really good dishes than 25 kind of okay dishes. So the next one is called a im ja su tang, which is a cold soup with chicken meat and chicken broth. So this one had some, I think, prawn or some seafood on top with the chicken. I thought it was a decent dish. To me, the chicken was slightly undercooked. So they had, 3 things here. They had the prawn, the sea cucumber, and the chicken. The prawn I thought was the best of the dishes. Sea cucumber, compared to what I normally eat with Chinese food, was a little bit rough or in terms of tough in terms of the texture, and the chicken was slightly undercooked, but maybe that's the style of it. But it was, again, a really good looking dish, but it was okay. Another beautiful dish. Look at the bowl and the plating and everything is spectacular, right? So this is called Sam Hup, and Sam Hup is basically literally means 3 combination or 3 tastes. So this is traditionally in Korean cooking, it would be braised pork, well-aged kimchi, and raw fermented skate. This is their take on it, which is abalone, beef, and octopus. So I should have kind of lifted up the shell, which would have 3 layers on it. Again, beautiful. Beef was okay, octopus was okay. The abalone was great. So again, great place to take pictures. But again, I have to judge it on the taste. And if I said, we went through 5 dishes, and I think 3 were decent, and 1 was not good. So, and none of them would, in my opinion, be memorable other than the plating. After my long talk with the sommelier about the wine list, I'm not sure he actually understood my, difficulty with the wine list. So we went with a soju pairing, and I thought that was interesting for him because I think he knew soju a little bit better than wine. So he chose 2 sojus for me to pair with my meal. The first one I think was a bamboo kind of taste to it, but it was really like 30 or 40% alcohol, quite a bit of alcohol. But I really liked it actually because the aftertaste came through as a bit of kind of a bamboo shoot type aftertaste, so or nutty aftertaste. So it was quite nice. Next dish was the ori bulgogi, which is duck, perilla, and deoduck. So again, beautiful dish in terms of the plating, the design. But in terms of duck dishes, um, I've had many, many, many better duck dishes in Michelin star restaurants, in even non-Michelin star restaurants. It was not bad, but it was memorable at all. This was the second soju that the sommelier chose for me, particularly with the main dishes that the upcoming dishes that I had, especially the pine needle pork, which I thought it paired very well. It's a bit lighter, I think, than the initial soju, maybe like 10% alcohol lighter, if I recall correctly, but still very high alcohol content. The next dish was a pine needle pork, but I forgot to take a picture for it. Again, good dish, but not memorable. This was the seasonal fish dish, which I thought was the best of the special part of the meal. It had a really neat texture because they had the skin on top, so it had a little bit crispy texture on the bottom. The fish was quite light, and then it was supposed to be eaten with this kind of vegetable thing on the right hand side. The only problem is that you can't really have it together because it's not easy to cut. It's kind of soft, so it doesn't pair easily because you can't cut it into a piece and have it with your fish. So again, it is beautiful in terms of the design, but probably not well thought out in terms of actually eating of it. This was their grilled strip loin. Again, nice dish. Not really memorable. And so again, we went through now almost 9 dishes, and there's not one dish that I would think, wow, I really remember that. Other than the plating. The plating of these dishes, the abalone dish was magnificent. Bowls they use, I remember those more than the cooking. Short video of some of the food that was on the table. This is actually very nice. It looks like a bouquet, so that's again really neat. And then some kimchi, and then this is the next dish. This is their main dish, was chicken, rice, and mallow soup. Enjoyed it, very nice. Again, I'm not sure if I need that much food. It's it's okay. They did allow you to add a fermented abalone for 50,000 yen, but I did not choose to do that. There's plenty of food here, but I would rather just cut back on some dishes and just really make really, really stunning dishes in terms of really good quality. And so again, for an experience, I think it's a great experience. If you get a window seat, that really adds to it. For a night out, a special night out, one-time experience, I think it's treated like a show. But in terms of culinary experience, I think you can get way better in Seoul in terms of for the value. And this is very similar to me to my review of Paul Bocuse in Lyon. All the bells and whistles of the experience, the hype, the hoopla, beautiful. But when you get down to the actual food, it's if you closed your eyes and didn't look at the surroundings or the plating, I don't think you would think this is 1-star Michelin. This is the dessert course. So 3 things. Again, pine mushroom ice cream on the left, which I actually thought was quite nice because it was different in terms of the taste. I liked it. A little bit savory, but sweet. Then you have the yatsik, which is on the bottom, which I should have taken out. It's just a drink. And then on the top, dried persimmon suragongwa, traditional dish of Korean. Liked it. I'm not a big Korean sweets person, but I like the variety. Again, all in all, it was a special experience. Great place. Plating was beautiful. Food was okay, and service was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Wine knowledge wasn't great either. So I'm sorry, I can't recommend this. Having said that, if you are there not as a foodie and you want to just take lots of nice pictures about food and you want the experience and you treat this like a show, then yeah, it's worth it on a one-time basis. But unfortunately, as a food person, I can't recommend this, and I don't think the quality of the food is 1-star Michelin, in my opinion. Hope you've enjoyed this review. Until next time, happy eating.